Section championships continuing across the state of Minnesota today with teams looking to punch their ticket to the state tournament. The Moorhead Spuds hosting Sartell St. Stephen for the Section 8 5A crown. This is the second game of the season between these two teams. Sartell took the first game, but the Spuds start this one out strong. Ben Herlichka takes the handoff at the 1-yard line, marches in untouched for 6. The Spuds with a 7-0 lead early in the first frame. Sartell looking to respond on the very next drive. Cole Hentges looking to air this one out, launches it into the end zone, right into the waiting hands of Parker Knudsen. We are all tied up at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Sartell would score in the second quarter, giving themselves a 14-7 lead. The Spuds looking to answer now. Gavin Quaid looking. He finds one of his favorite targets at the sideline. That's Michael Haugo coming into your living room or wherever you put your TV. Spuds back into the red zone, but the Sabres hold strong. Moorhead facing fourth down now. The handoff to Herlichka, and he is stuffed. The Sabres hold on to their 1-score lead. But the second half is going to belong to the Spuds. Moorhead rallies to win the section championship 28-26. After finishing the regular season at 4-5 overall, the Spuds are heading back to the state championship tournament. And now let's go check into the Fargo Dome. The Crookston Pirates facing the undefeated Barnesville Trojans for the Section 8 2A title. Crookston starting this one with a field goal, but here comes Barnesville. Zach Bredman back to pass for the first time, airs it out to Andrew Peterson. He is in for 6. Barnesville responds with a bomb to take a 7-3 lead. The Trojans back near the goal line after a blocked punt. Bredman tosses it out to Braden Bredman. We've got some brotherly love for the touchdown. Barnesville extending their lead to 2 scores. Crookston trying to cut into that now at midfield, but the ball pops loose, but nobody seems to notice. Johnny Robideau finally picks this one up, and there he goes, sprinting in for the scoop and score. After falling behind early, the Trojans now lead 21-3, and Barnesville would stay just that dominant for a 56-3 victory. They'll be bringing a perfect record into the state championship tournament. And one last final from the Fargo Dome tonight. Breckenridge winning the Section 6A title, 34-6, the final in that contest over Otter Tail.